Hey folks, just kind of working on my project here. I think you'll recognize probably who that is, and you know what, I hope to have this out pretty soon. It's one that I'm interested in too because this is the Youngbloods' Ride the Wind live album that they had. I think it was 1971. Their live performance of Ride the Wind, I think they actually performed and recorded that in '69, I want to say, but the album wasn't released until a couple years later. But speaking of that, there's an interesting twist to that one. This particular album was, Youngbloods had a contract with RCA, the label, and they, at this point, I believe they were switching, to a different label, or at least somewhere along the way that happened. But RCA actually released, a few copies on their label right before this album was actually released. So they had, the first crack at it, but then they yanked it real quick. I guess because of, for contractual reasons and that, whatever ended up happening to cause that. But so I'm in the middle of this, and I've got my hands on a copy. There aren't too many of the, the RCA pressings out there, so I'm anxious to see if it was the same master that was used for this, because the one that is out there now on the Warner Raccoon label, it's lacking in terms of the actual production master that they used for that. So I'm hoping that RCA, by chance may have done their own cut with their mastering engineer and their facilities and all that to see if it's different and maybe actually improved, for vinyl and have a better sound overall. So not that this one sounds bad, it's just that it's not, you can tell it's lacking in some areas, and particularly for some reason the hi-hat gets lost. Some of the drum, the percussion stuff gets lost in it. So we'll see. So stay tuned for that. But just want to say thank you for all the support. It's been tremendous. Been quite a ride too at the same time, but couldn't have done it without the support. So just wanted to stop and say, how much I appreciate that, and it's making a big difference. We've been really at it probably the last 3 or 4 months. I would say I'm really starting to see an uptick, and the studios out there are working hard with their legacy projects, and we're here to support them. So the fact that we're raising awareness now, the fact that technology now allows us to do what we can do here. And by the way, I'm not the only one. There's others out there, so I'm kind of joining the fight, I guess you could say. But it's all about getting this sound that we are preparing for the studios, and we give it to them, and then they take it and run with it and do what they will with it. But it's been a tremendous journey just to get there. So again, that's because of you, the awareness that was raised and continues to be raised, quite frankly. So if you're new, just joining in, and this is new to you, you don't know what this is about, what I'm talking about, you can go to my website. The studio website is LegacyVMP.com, and then I've been doing the vinyl restoration project stuff now for, good grief, probably 2014. I started in 2007, but I got the channel going in 2014. It was late 2014, so now, man, that's been 7.5 years, I guess, now going on that. So, but just all that to say, I'm ready to kind of move into the next chapter. This is kind of running on its own now, and what I'm going to do then in relation to that is I won't be doing the Facebook stuff as much anymore, but I will be switching over to Instagram. Instagram is just much easier, and if I got stuff that I think is interesting, the stuff that I work on the side in particular, I can't obviously disclose what I'm working on professionally, but I can actually help, or like, for example, this one, the Youngbloods Ride the Wind LP is something I'm doing on the side, and I do these to help, particularly when I'm doing studio maintenance in between projects, that with the sound, I have reference albums that I use to help with that. And this is one of them I'm finding that is going to be a real good one. But it's interesting, I'm sure, let people know kind of those things too, if you're interested in that kind of thing. But that's what I'm doing now, is trying to get another referenced album, but it really will be just one or two selections from that album that I'll end up using to help benchmark my sound at the studio. The sound is sealed, as I like to call it, something that, once I hit that sound that I knew was where it was, pay dirt, I needed it to be, I just kind of sealed it at that point. There's not many changes you do after that, but really what you do is you maintain it. So that's what I've been doing, is streamlining my processes so it won't take as long with my referencing and benchmarking that I do when I actually go in and do some maintenance in the studio, just to kind of make things a little bit easier on me, a little bit quicker, and it's just not as intrusive either, especially now that I'm in production mode. So that's what that's about. But all that to say that, the Instagram accounts that I have, by the way, the Vinyl Restoration Project Instagram is at TheVRP, and then the LegacyVMP Studio is at LegacyVMP Studio. So those are the two Instagram accounts, and just check them out. I don't have much out there right now, but that's where I'll be focusing. So that's where you'll want to go looking. Obviously, continued wanting to ramp up support. That's really making the difference, and I want to continue along those lines. So that's what this is about too, is I feel like this is probably a better way to do that. And so that's why I wanted to stop and say thank you and let you know that. And well, that's pretty much the latest update. And I'll probably do some more of these too, just kind of keep you updated on what's going on with, especially with raising awareness and all. And just, come check us out at the website, LegacyVMP Studio, or LegacyVMP.com. And then, of course, the Vinyl Restoration Project is at the VRP. You can find me on Facebook, but Instagram is also there. And then also the YouTube channel is out there. So you'll see those links from the Facebook and Instagram page. And we'll check with you later. Y'all take care.